Celebrity Big Brother's bit on the side. The weekend might be over, but we are still partying like it's 3 a.m. on a Friday night. The only exception being there are no kebabs and I still have my shoes on. That's fine. Right, we are T-4 days away from our first celebrity finale of 2013. It's going to be... That's approximately 96 hours, but I'm sure there is still time for a little bit of this. A little bit of this.
Who knows what's out of there that we want?
Well, they're all getting empty, so there's no rush.
Fly from steps.
And a whole lot of this.
Was it good, the back?
Now, you might have all missed it, but as he cupped, you did see a little... There was a gap. So you did see a slight bit of testicle, if anybody's interested. Right, as it's our final week... Sorry. We've pulled out all the stops to bring you a stunning star-spangled panel. That's really hard to say. First up is an EastEnder actress, best known for disapproving of her son's choice in partner, so she must have a clear understanding of what Heidi's mum is probably going through. It's Nina Mwadia! Show may have got 2 housemates for the price of 1 in the form of Spidey, but anything they can do, we can do better. So we've only gone and booked one of the UK's hottest boy/man bands, and they're all here tonight. It's Adam, Andy, Joel and Ryan, a.k.a. Lawson. This can happen all night, isn't it? Yeah! And finally, a man who needs no introduction, except perhaps to his barber. It's our dear Jamie. Okay. What happened to your face?
It's been the most disastrous day of my life.
Clearly. What happened?
All will be revealed on tomorrow night's show. Safe to say, it's been an absolute shambles.
So you're teasing
What's happened to your hair as well? I think they've taken my beard and put it on your head.
Yeah. I was trying to channel your big lot of hair, but, you know...
I feel ashamed.
Do you feel slightly violated and naked?
I feel violated and naked.
All at the same time. Should we talk about tonight's show?
Please.
OK, let's talk about tonight's show. I've got to say, it was, for me, possibly one of the most jaw-dropping shows I've ever watched in every Celebrity Big Brother. It was Dramageddon, wasn't it?
Yeah. Dramageddon, yes.
Didn't hear the da-da-da! So Spidey, as we know, we're at it again, and oh my goodness, they have gone far. But have they gone too far?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness. I can't believe that you don't have any heart whatsoever to do what they did.
So what do you think's going on, Nina? What is it with them?
I think it's a cult of one, and I think Spidey has got... No, Spencer's got Heidi, like, literally in his kind of claws or something. Thank you, don't you think? I think if you separate them for 24 hours, I promise you girl might actually be real.
We tried.
It's not going to happen, is it?
Failed.
So you think he's the domineering force?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's completely in love with him. Anything he would say, she would do. Yeah. I think she's like this kind of weird Stepford wife. Yeah. And I think that they separate them, she might have a personality.
Yeah.
I disagree.
You disagree?
No, because in the diary room before, when they said about the task, Heidi straight away was like, no way, before Spencer even said anything. So
no, but that's
because she just knows him so well. They've been together for quite a long time. She kind of knows how his brain ticks and what he will and won't do, maybe.
I'm not saying she's not manipulative. I'm not saying that.
I think we're Team Spidey, Lawson.
OK, well, let's ask you about the test then today. Claire obviously didn't get her letter from home. You guys, you're on the road a lot, you're away from home. How important would that letter have been to you lot?
We definitely wouldn't have cried as much as Claire. No.
But then again, you don't have women's emotions.
I know, but Claire cried so much.
Yeah, she's got to man up a little bit. Yeah. Just a little bit.
What about the child aspect of it, though?
I know, if it's that much of a bigger problem, she shouldn't have gone in the first place.
Oh, no! I am not having
backing him up.
anybody say that women with children should not go into Big
know, but
Brother.
then she can't moan about
anybody should be allowed to go into Big
I know,
Brother.
but she can't moan about it the whole time.
But she's moaning because of one letter, no?
No, but in fairness, she does cry a lot.
She is very emotional in there.
As a parent, if you have a letter that you know is going to be from your kids dangled in front of you, you'll go hell for leather to get.
Yeah, but I think they're just playing up to the show, though. As he keeps saying, it's just a game, and he's playing the game. He's loving it.
What do you think they are? Because I'm baffled. Is this genuine? Is this really them? Or is this part of their act?
I know it's part of their act, and it's a great act because it's making it so entertaining.
And people want to keep them in the show because they're entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
And it gets me really wound up. What are you saying, Gracie?
What I think Spidey are playing a really, really good game.
Yeah.
OK, certain bits, they do go a bit too far, but without Spidey and Rylan in the show would have been boring!
I really don't like them. I do love to hate them. You know, one of them ones, Marmite.
It is that thing, isn't it? They are fantastic housemates, but how much of it is genuine and...
I think there should be boundaries, and I think they crossed it tonight. And I think they should go in a task room with a lie detector test, and Spencer should be asked, which do you love most, Fame or Heidi?
They're the perfect pantomime villains.
But where do you stand on the whole letter thing this evening and what they did?
It's upsetting. But let's be honest about it. It's only Wednesday. Claire's going to see her kids on Wednesday.
Yeah, but if you're wanting that little push towards the end, then it's kind of, you know...
It's not the facts. It's upsetting for them that they didn't, she didn't get the letter, but it's the fact that they laughed
so blatant
and clapped, and that is, as a mum, you don't want that. It's not nice. It's like they've got no empathy or compassion or anything to go off and laugh. He's just out of order.
A lady after my own heart there. Boys, did it surprise you that Trisha didn't really have a task within the task, did she? Everybody else had their own little thing to do, but Trisha just had to pick names.
She got off easy, didn't she? I think Trisha should have to do something else.
What else would you do?
I really, really hope she comes out of her shell. I hope she just has
She's leaving it a bit bloody late.
I'm serious. Like any other woman in that place would have actually fought and told them where to go. You know, Rylan is kind of the closest person to actually saying something, but you need a woman in there.
No one else has said anything really apart from Rylan, has he?
Trisha's had a couple of opportunities now to step in and say her piece. She went into the diary room the other night and said she was going to get really cross and then didn't do anything. I think she's kind of blown it for herself.
OK, well, before we start going mad at Trisha, finally, after keeping a lid on her emotions for the past couple of days, Trisha had something she wanted to say.
I'm fine about them. I'm just blazing about them too.
I know.
I'm blazing. I just feel like I'll just make a show of myself if I go for them. That'll be it. I feel like going in there and just saying, last night I said, you haven't got a heart. She said, don't say that. That's not nice. But they haven't.
Proved it.
None of them haven't.
Just fucking proved it.
I'm going to just go and say.
Why entertain it? Entertain what? That's what they want. That's exactly what they want.
So hard.
All they want is fucking airtime. Don't even give it to them. The only airtime they're going to fucking get now is laying in their bed with no one talking to them. Because I'm not going to fucking even acknowledge that they're there.
So she didn't quite go and say anything, but Nina, what do you make to Rylan's plan?
Oh, just please, someone, anyone, just go in there and tell them where to go. Seriously, please.
OK, you are the voting public. You have saved them twice from eviction. Are you going to save them again on Wednesday?
Fantastic. I mean, they're the best thing Big Brother has ever seen. They are just so good. I mean, they're not a game plan. They're reality stars. And even last night when Claire was in bed with Rylan, she said, who are these people? They think it's a reality show. It is a reality show. What reality is she in?
It's a reality show. I think the rest of the house are playing it like it's a reality show, and they're playing it like the reality show game that it is. So there's two very contrasting opinions. Thank you very much. That was brilliant. Right, still to come, psychologist Dr. Pam Spur talks us through the housemates' endgame mentalities, and Lawson help us deal with the tragedy that is Trisha, Claire and Heidi's music careers.
Whoa!
gaps between the ads since 2011. So, a new day means a new task for the house, but the same old stunts from Spidey. Ryan explains why they won't be giving up their day job anytime soon.
They said something to me the other day that just made me go, right.
What?
I get it. He goes, this is our job. You know, you get out of here and you go back to your normal job. You know, we get out of here and we don't have anything. This is our job. And it's like, yes. You're actually at work right now. And I thought, all right. I get it now. Doesn't change the fact that you're actually being pricks.
Harsh words, but who thinks they're true? So the fanfare and fireworks of the finale take place on Friday night. Now, we all know that Spidey won first place, but who else is in it to win it? Here to explain everything with our expert opinion is Dr. Pam Spur. So, Pam, let's first start with the dilemma task that we saw in this evening's show. What's going on with Spidey? Are they, as some people have, as Paul has said in the audience, they're the perfect pantomime villain? Is it real? What is it? Because I am still desperate to know.
Well, a lot of people are desperate to know. They've got what I'd call a fairy tale complex, and this is where someone doesn't want to reveal their real character, so instead they use sort of fake and pretend roles to do so. Now, in a fairy tale, there are always goodies, there are baddies, there are battles, there are retreats. And what Spidey have done is they've taken over the fairy tale and they've played every role. So that's why it leaves everybody confused. When they first were sent to the basement, they played the victim. Then they came out and they got up to the house and they created havoc, caused a lot of problems. Then they kind of made up for that. Then they went back to the basement when they had their fake sort of, you know, leaving of the house, and then created again when they got back upstairs. Then we saw this period of calm where they kind of won people over, and then it was Big Blogger, and now this last horror that, you know, that they've sort of put across their housemates.
So they're playing every role in this fairy tale, but are we ever really seeing the real them?
We only see them in very unguarded moments, and there's certainly been a few times where Heidi looks almost guilty. I'd like to think, yes, please feel a bit guilty about, you know, the way you've behaved. Spencer never shows that. He always keeps that facade, the bravado. He has those smirks that he uses to signal that he may not be happy with what's going on, but he's going to plaster that little grin on his face. When I tweet about this, I get people tweeting back about how confused they are.
Yeah.
And so I really do feel that we see very little of the real Spidey.
OK, well, in tonight's show, we obviously saw Claire not guessing her letter because they wouldn't take part in their part of the task. She was told that the letter would be destroyed. And then when it was revealed who had passed and who had failed, Spidey clapped. What does their reaction tell you? And why do they behave like that?
It was a fascinating sequence because all the other housemates clapped for themselves as it was revealed that they had passed their part of the task. Heidi was, if you looked at her on her face and her body language, she had emotionally detached at that point because she knew a ruction was coming when it was revealed that they hadn't done their part of the task. So you saw that she starts looking away, and when she hears it's her turn, she goes into this automatic clap because she has detached from this situation. She's then slapped down by Ryland, but what does Spencer do? He takes over and he claps to show, I'm in control, I've got the power, you're not going to tell her and you're not going to tell me not to clap. So it was very much this sort of signal of his that he was not going to be told what to do by Ryland or Razor.
Is she clapping to rub their faces in it?
No,
Are they heartless and callous like the housemates have said that they are? He was.
Yeah. Definitely, if you gave them the sort of social conscientious sort of scale, they would have absolutely score very, very lowly on sort of low on having a social conscience. They just, and that's all about sort of regard for the people in your group, empathy for the people of your group. They do not have that. But it was really very much Spencer playing this sort of, you know, heartless role. And he really looked that way. Whereas I do feel that for Heidi, it was less so. I mean, I think there was a difference there. Usually they act as one. But in that, I think there were signs that she did feel a bit guilty.
So do you think maybe she's just following his lead?
I think very much so, and they have that sort of relationship where they feed off each other. And, you know, she looks to him for validation. When she seems to say something that's slightly out of line, he immediately sort of takes over the conversation.
But they have each other's backs every time, don't they?
They do,
and
they
for
do.
that, you can't knock them for it because they're a very tight unit.
Well, they are an incredibly tight unit, and in some ways you might think it's not a healthy way to relate, you see, because there's that utter dependency on each other.
OK, well, Spencer, as we know, keeps saying there are only 5 days left, but in an American accent. But how are the housemates feeling about the home straight? Some better than others, it would seem. Have a look at this.
5 days of done for life. Sounds like nothing now.
Yeah.
It would have meant everything. It's just that last little help to get, you know, get through the next few days.
So why are Spencer and Claire looking at this final week so differently?
OK, well, we've come into the end game mentality. And this is where you can either be incredibly positive looking at those last few days and thinking, yeah, I've got the emotional energy to get through it, or in a negative way. Now, what's happened with Claire is her anxiety throughout her whole experience in the house has absolutely sapped her emotions. So she doesn't have the energy. So then looking ahead, her end game mentality is very negative. It's going to be every hour will feel like a day for her. Now, Spencer or Spidey, on the other hand, they look at it as they've had this support for each other throughout. They are absolutely doing this sort of fairy tale that they're spinning for the public, and you know, the ups and downs they've created themselves. So they still have quite a big emotional reserve left to get them through, so it doesn't look bad to them the next 4 days.
Who do you think is going to find the rest of the time in there the toughest?
Oh, well, absolutely.
Of all of them?
It's Claire, it's Trisha, and Frankie too. All of them have absolutely had their energy sapped. I mean, Frankie has completely lost his mojo, hasn't he? I mean, you know, he's just really gone sort of under the radar. And Trisha too, bless her. I mean, she's absolutely lovely, and she's wanted to speak up so many times, as we've seen with the exclusive, and other times, and yet she hasn't had she's had the sense to say, no, I don't want to speak up and cause confrontation, but that has sapped her reserves of energy. So again, she's got quite a negative end game in front of her.
Very quickly, because we're out of time, but when Spidey come out of that house, do you think they'll come out and stick to the characters they've been in the house, or will they be like, it's just a game, we're not really like that? What are we going to get, do you think?
They use that mantra as a defence mechanism. It excuses, in their eyes, all of their bad behaviour. So they're saying, it's a game, you know, so that they use that as a blanket excuse to do whatever they want to. And I think what we'll see, sadly, is they'll get all the attention because they will continue to create this fairy tale of their own with the ups, the downs, the goods, the bads, and people want to see it.
Pam, thank you so much. Pam Spur. So we've seen how the housemates have coped with being cooped up in the house for nearly a month, but how would they tackle the hardest test of all? I'm not talking about Brian's exit interview. It's much harder than that. It's the bit on the side general knowledge quiz.
Are you ready, bots?
BB Bots.
Who contested the Battle of Waterloo?
God.
What?
Neapolitan?
The Battle of the Waterloo.
You see, I'm going to look really thick now because I haven't got a clue.
Napoleon.
Sorry, I'm Italian.
Who contested the Battle of Waterloo? Us and the French.
Pass. Oh, it's not funny, this. This is really not funny.
Borehamwood is in which English county? Yes.
Hey, we drove through that.
Borehamwood is in Middlesex.
Oh, I'm terrible with geography.
It's near the M25. So I'm Essex and the next one's Hertfordshire.
London.
Hertfordshire. I think.
AR.
According to Cockney rhyming slang, what should you do if you are Hank Marvin?
When you're Hank Marvin, you're very hungry.
You're starving, of course.
I'm starving.
You'd have something to eat.
So can't they all be that easy?
You English. Oh, you're funny with your words, aren't you?
What is the recommended retail price of a banana?
£1.25.
I don't eat bananas, don't like them.
For a banana?
I paid 35p the other day. It was a bit off, too.
I would say 80p.
If it's a big one, £2. We all love a big banana.
Who said the unexamined life is not worth living?
Sorry, pass.
The unexamined life is not worth living.
A liar.
I just said that then.
The unexamined life is not worth living.
Oh, God.
Emma Willis.
Let's just go with Darwin.
Someone like Einstein.
A cocktail containing champagne and absinthe is called what?
Let's call her. What the fuck was that?
Shaken, not stirred.
It sounds like a very lethal drink. I better try that one.
A bad hangover.
It's called That Hurts. I've never had it, but I want one.
Something to do with Kylie Minogue.
In the UK, it was the current Chancellor. Oh, no.
What?
Exchequer.
Oh, no. I'm so thick.
Exchequer. I know this.
My brain's gone dead. I want to say Ed Balls.
Let's say Osborne.
Lewis Fields on...
The cat.
No.
Cat off the advert.
Born Gant. No.
Space, little pod thing.
I'll go for you.
He's in James Bond. And what a load of bollocks that was. I couldn't say bollocks enough.
Welcome back to Celebrity Big Brothers But on the Side, the show that's almost as well rehearsed as the X Factor tour. We'll be talking about it later on. Right, OK, so after last night's task, it's fair to say that the women in the house are not singing from the same song sheet. So who better to work out which of the girls has been hitting the high notes or the bum ones are professional pop stars Lawson. I'm going to play the boys a song from each of the remaining ladies in the house that have had a song out. And what I need you to do is tell me whereabout those songs have charted, OK? To add a bit of spice to proceedings, as you know, I have attached, as they know, but you don't, I've attached the infamous Big Brother shock pads to them. If they get them wrong, they'll get a little bit of a surprise, which I will be controlling. So we're just going to test them, OK?
I don't like it.
No, not yet. OK, I'm going to like this a lot. So we and Rylan all know her as Claire from Steps, but once upon a time, at the beginning of this very century, Claire formed a splinter group with her BFF, H. Let's take a look at Claire and H's video for All Out of Love.
Game though.
Okay, I'll stop for a little bit. Let's get through this. So some impressive 2002 moves there from Claire and H. Will we ever see you guys busting moves like that?
Never.
We can't. We're a band. I can...
We'll do it.
That's the best move you ever get. That's the best move you'll get out of me.
What do you think of Claire's moves within the house?
Well, I met them when they were promoting this single at a gig when I was younger, and they were really horrible to me. So,
so you don't really care?
I hope it goes under 100, to be honest.
OK. OK, well, let's get there. Finally, do you think it was a hit and miss for Claire and H? Did they get, by hit and miss, it's a hit if they got it within the top 40?
If we get it right, you're going to electrocute us anyway.
If you get it right, I won't electrocute you.
Promise.
I don't believe you. I think you're lying to me.
Honestly, but if you get it wrong, I'll have to.
It's got to be top 40.
So take Claire. No, that's
It's got to be top 40.
There's Claire, yeah.
OK, do you think it's top 40?
Yeah.
And if so, what number?
I reckon maybe mid-20s.
No.
Higher.
No.
Lower?
These want us to get shocked. Ignore them. I'm saying... Andy, stop!
What?
No. I'd say like 20 to 30.
Like 25?
Yeah, 25.
We're going to have to hurry you up, boys.
25.
OK, I can reveal...
Please!
That All Out of Love was a hit!
Yes!
Well,
that's not it.
However, it tried at number 10. Next up, we've got Trisha Penrose with her cover, the Supremes classic, Where Did Our Love Go? Let's have a look at Trisha.
I've got this burning, yearning feeling inside me. Ooh, deep
Liz in her video there.
My balls are tingling.
For your next video.
that was a big song, that.
Would you like to have any cameos in your video?
We'd like to have Spidey in the video.
Really?
Hello.
Really?
Yeah, Spidey in the dark.
As a
Shock him for that!
He's not in the band.
Did Trisha make your heart beat?
I think Trisha, I think that song, I always hear that song. You know, in like social clubs when you're younger.
Yeah.
I reckon that was a hit. I reckon top 10.
Yeah.
So you think it was a hit?
Yeah, definitely top 10.
You think it was a top 10?
Definitely
okay,
top
put
10.
Trisha up on the board.
7. No. 5.
I don't like...
Okay.
That's not 4, that's 1.
Are you ready? 50. You ready? You've said 4, it's okay. You ready? The answer was?
I'm not listening.
It was a miss! And you were so far off the mark, it was number 71. Okay, last but by no means least, Heidi has released a whopping 9 singles. Yeah, Heidi's released 9 singles. Sadly, only one of them charted. Now, there's no video for Heidi's single, but there is. We do have a piece of track for you, so take a listen to this. It's good, huh?
Yeah, really good. No, that's a hit.
Okay, so she's complained about being locked up in the house.
Yeah.
How do you guys cope with constantly being together?
It's actually
This isn't a trick question. I'm not going to let you.
This is. We get a lot of cabin fever. To be fair, you spend so much time together in a small amount.
But we do.
So you hate each other?
No. We laugh at the most inappropriate, stupid things.
We literally spent. We must have spent before we were signed. We must have spent like 3 years doing like the worst gigs in the world in like a battered old van. And the times you have doing that, it's like. It's the best times ever. It's like it's amazing. We had so many good laughs, and we still do now.
We've got a test coming
It's a
up.
learning experience.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think we're a little too comfortable with each other, though.
Yeah.
Something needs to go
Naked
wrong.
all the time.
Okay, so do you think that was a hit or a miss?
I think a miss.
It stinks of miss.
Stinks of miss. So where would you place them?
I reckon like...
A hit.
Andy.
I know I'm right. We've been wrong every time. So what do you guys think? Not sure about this.
Listen, just don't get it wrong.
Off the scale.
Quick as you can, boys.
My pacemaker can't keep up with this kind of action. No!
Let's go with that.
They just want to see us in pain, dickhead.
Okay, are you ready?
What a knobhead.
What do you want to go
The answer is...
One?
Quick.
Yeah, 40.
The answer is... It peaked. It was a hit.
It was a hit.
It peaked at number 27. So the wrong answer, but it was a hit. Unfortunately, it was in the US Billboard chart. Thank you so much. You've been such good...
Please.
That's it. Right, okay, so today... No, put it down. Today is Blue Monday, which is officially the most depressing day of the year, especially for them. So I haven't got it. So just when you couldn't get any lower, spare a thought for Spidey. Their January blues are about to get a lot
My bum's
worse.
It's red raw.
For today's task, housemates will answer one of the age-old questions known to man and womankind. Who is better, boys or girls? Housemates will split into 2 teams and will compete in a series of head-to-head battles throughout the day.
I'm sure it's locked.
Just tell them.
You don't want to go to a party with you people?
Yeah, right. You have enough people.
Spidey, why don't you want to take part in the task today?
We are not going to take part in any team task with them from here on out.
They're not going to treat us awful all the time, and then we're not going to put on a fake face and play games with them. And if it means taking fails, bring on the fails.
Are you sure you don't want to find out who's better, boys or girls?
Yeah, I think we know who's better, Spidey above all.
Yeah, we're not even compared to these people. As Heidi said yesterday, they are all irrelevant.
Absolutely. We never knew any of their names. We never would. We have no idea who they are, and either does anyone else.
Big Brother reminds you that you will be punished should you fail to take part in the task.
Great.
it's sad times because it's our third and final post-room of the series, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to keep it real and tell you our own answers to any of your questions. We will try and be as honest with you as humanly possible. Well, we will be as honest with you as possible. So, Jamie, what do you want to get to first?
I don't know, there hasn't been much going on.
There hasn't
really
been a lot
to
going
talk
on,
about.
really, no.
Only kidding. OK, well, some of you, or most of you, or one of you, will probably have seen our good friend Gillian mention on the Right Stuff this morning that Rylan has been leaving the house to rehearse for the X Factor tour. On Twitter, @GarlicSauce99, says, is it true that Rylan has been leaving the house? I watched the interview, like most of you did, and as ever, went straight to the top to get an answer from Channel 5 execs. Can I get a drum roll, please? Very serious. This is what they said. It was agreed before Rylan entered the Big Brother house that he would be allowed to rehearse for his tour twice on site with a choreographer. This was agreed on the strict understanding that he was not allowed to discuss events in the Big Brother house with anyone during such rehearsal periods. Rylan was escorted by a senior Big Brother producer at all times during rehearsals to ensure full compliance.
OK, so I kind of get where people are coming from because as a Big Brother fan, if I'd have thought Rylan was leaving the compound, going to rehearse with everybody else from the X Factor tour, being told information, having chats, you know, he could have been told anything about how he's coming across.
It would have made it very unfair.
It would have made it really unfair, and I'm in total agreement with that. However, he was escorted. He stayed within the Big Brother compound.
And when we say compound, I think he probably went. It was about 50 feet away.
Yeah, they have like these hangars where Jamie sometimes does Jamie Meets.
I do the interviews before the housemates go in there, and
yeah,
some of
we
the
used to film Little Brother there years ago, and so it's all within the same gate. It's just across away from each other. So that's where he went. There was a producer with him at all times and a choreographer, and that was it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of all that happened.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people questioning Gillian's reference to a driver she mentioned. Now, you might be thinking limousine. In reality, it was
We have a driver.
It was a really shitty golf cart.
Golf buggy, though.
It's not amazing, but health and safety means that we're not allowed to drive ourselves. Now, look, I don't want people to think that we don't... I know this is a very light-hearted show and we take the piss and we sometimes act glib, certainly me. I don't want you to think that we don't take or read your comments and take them seriously. We do. And we understand your frustrations at this. But the X Factor tour starts on Saturday. If Rylan were to stay in until finale, he would have had no rehearsal time. He's due on stage 12, 13, 14 hours after the finale finishes.
And the thing is, you could say, well, if he's meant to be doing that, then he shouldn't commit to Big Brother.
Yeah,
I absolutely get that. But on the other side of that, it's, as somebody said earlier on, if Spidey and Rylan hadn't been in the show, we wouldn't have really had a show.
Yeah.
So if the compromise is for twice in 3 weeks, which is when he left, he went out, I think they said, somebody said on Twitter that he's been out every Sunday, but he went out on a Sunday and a Friday, I think just for a couple of hours each time, as escorted again, as always, by a producer. If you want people like that in the house to bring a good show, then there has to be some kind of compromise. And if a few hours of rehearsal time is what it is,
my personal
and that's
view
sometimes what you have to do.
My personal view is I kind of think it was worth it. You guys may not agree with me, and that's absolutely fine, but I think it was worth that to have Rylan in the house in this series.
What's next?
OK, at Cody Travers 4, I think that means there were 3 other Cody Travers on Twitter before this person, has this to say: why is it the Rylan show? Crikey.
We keep talking about it.
Here we go. He is centre of tasks.
OK, so it isn't the Rylan show or the Spidey show specifically. If you're seeing more of them on screen than the others, that's because they are doing more than the others.
It's true. It's kind of true. So what we did today was we had our researchers pick a random day from this series, and we want to give you a log of exactly what happened. Thursday the 10th, on day 8, while Spidey sat bitching in the basement, which was what was shown, Claire cleaned the bathroom for 20 minutes, housemates exercised for 30 minutes, Rylan cooked a late breakfast for housemates for 20 minutes, Sam and Lacey chatted about being bored for 25 minutes, Razor had a nap while Tricia, Lacey and Gillian were watching him snore for 10 minutes, Frankie cleaned the kitchen for 20 minutes. It's not exactly riveting stuff, so that's why we show so much of Rylan and Spidey.
I think, you know, the story producers really try to pick the main things that are happening in the house and give you the best hour that they can.
We want it to be entertaining.
We want it to be entertaining because it is an entertainment show, and rather than it just being boring. They're kind of damned if they do and damned if they don't. They
Yeah.
either give you all the stories and it's kind of focused around certain people, or they give you a bit of everybody and it's boring.
Yeah.
So they're kind of stuck, really. That is all for the post room today. Brian is going to be in here on finale night, so if you've got anything that you'd like to say to him, then please do get in touch. That is all the excitement we have for now. Join us after the break, where we'll be in the digital
The
room.
thingy.
We'll have news, and Lawson will also be performing.
Well
See you in a
done.
bit. Thanks. Welcome back to Celebrity Big Brother's Bit on the Side. Amazing news. As we speak, we are officially Channel 5's most watched show in this time slot, and I think it's easy to see why. Yeah. Now, that is good news, and now it's time for some more news. At 2:43 this afternoon, Big Brother set the second stage of its girls versus boys task, with Rylan and Razor being set a maths test with twist.
Who do you think are better at mathematics?
Girls, of course.
Carol Vorderman.
And the new bit of skirt that does it now. I was watching her the other day on Countdown.
Was ya?
And I got aroused. Not bad, 7 letters.
So Big Brother is going to set you a little maths test.
Oh, no.
To see once and for all who really is the brainiest.
Oh, no.
What is 19 minus 25? How much change would she have from a tenner?
Arse.
What is 16 multiplied by 1 plus 422 plus 13 times 0?
I don't care, no more.
What is the square root of 144?
12. Oh, she's beautiful.
Claire loves baking cakes. If she spent £1.20 on flour... Thank you, Rylan. Your mathematics quiz is now over.
No, you don't stop.
No, God. No, thank you so much.
I second that. That was really good. But it isn't quite how I remember my maths classes at school. And at 3:52, the task continued with Big Brother making our poor old housemates sweat.
Love it in here. Don't be scared.
Jeez, guys.
Yes, Frankie, he'll be fuming there.
Well, that is not going to improve sales of Trisha and Claire's workout DVDs now, is it? But as promised, Big Brother hadn't forgotten about Team Spidey, and at 6:36 this evening, they were dealt their punishment.
This is Big Brother. As Spencer and Heidi refuse to take part in today's task and have spent most of the day in their comfy double bed, Big Brother has removed their bed until further notice.
Should we go live?
That one's closed, Frankie.
Now that's funny.
Well, how nice to give us bins. I get this side. That was nice.
Well done.
What was this stuff in? Oh, the bottom of the bed.
What? What do you say, honey?
That is funny.
Yeah, the bins are for the stuff at the bottom of the bed.
They're good at their punishments.
That was comical.
Extremely comical. I wonder where they're going to sleep, though. Where are they going to sleep? I wonder. That's all the news we have for you today. But in 4 days' time, you'll be crowning a new Celebrity Big Brother winner. Here are all the numbers you need to choose your champ. So Claire, Frankie, Heidi and Spencer, Razor, Ryan, Rylan and Trisha all face the public vote. Who wins? You decide. From a landline, call 090 20 50 58 and add the number of the housemate. From a mobile, call 650 58 and add the number of the housemate. For Claire to win, add 01. For Frankie to win, add 02. For Heidi and Spencer to win, add 04. For Razor to win, add 07. For Ryan to win, add 08. For Ryland to win, add 09. For Trisha to win, add 11. Mobile and BT landline votes cost 35p. Other landlines may vary. For full terms, go to channel5.com/BB vote. Voting freezes during Wednesday's live semi-final, where there will be another live eviction. The lines will then reopen for the remaining housemates, who will then go through to the final. Digital time.
Yay.
Ian, it's your time to shine.
OK.
Go for it.
Well, I want to talk to you about Spidey.
OK.
Because they're...
Doesn't everybody?
Yeah, they're obviously one of the biggest topics today. Not
Yep.
quite the biggest topic, but we dealt with that in the post-room. They are, if you look at the polls on the fan sites, on BB Spy, they're currently both the most popular and who people most want to see evicted at the same time.
Yep.
So I asked, are people pro or anti-Spidey in light of recent events? And Lewis815 says, I'm pro-Spidey just for the entertainment value they've brought, but I don't think they should win. And Shane Reaction says, without Spidey, there'd be absolutely no drama, and I'd rather watch that than Razor's bollocks.
So do you think most people would love to see them stay, but don't want them to take the crown?
Well, I don't know. I think the tide is starting to turn a little bit against them. Alice Waddington says, I was pro-Spidey before, but not anymore. They've gone from panto villains to downright cruel.
I think a lot of mums would have turned against them tonight, maybe.
Yeah, I think in general it's like she said, that it was panto villains, but now they've sort of...
Took it that bit further.
It's got a bit personal now.
Ian, thank you so much. That's all we've got time for today. Thanks to all of my guests. Join me tomorrow night when ex-housemate Cheryl Ferguson, I'm a Celebs Hugo Taylor and journalist Patrick Strudwick will all be joining me. But now, to sing us out, it's Lawson with their new single, Learn to Love Again, taken from their brand new album, Chapman Square, which is out now. Have a lovely evening, and we will be back tomorrow. Good night.
There's a place we know what's cold enough won't grow. We have seen the dark, and the darkness took its soul. The